Hello and welcome to the Speed Mooting Partners in Crime podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Hayley. Hi everyone.
Hello all. So we'll start very briefly by naming the episode. It's number 51 and that is Pietro Fittipaldi.
Who's Pietro Fittipaldi?
He drove for Haas in a race a few years ago. He was a super sub for somebody, I can't remember. Might have been Roman Grosjean actually, but he's also a relative of Emerson Fittipaldi, who is a two-time world champion from the 70s.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So welcome to episode 51, the Pietro Fittipaldi special.
Welcome.
So shout out for Roman Grosjean, who used the number in IndyCar as well.
Oh, is he the one that got burnt that time?
He is the one who got burned that time. So yeah, very good driver, just unfortunate, obviously with the incident, and unfortunate not to have more success in Formula 1. So welcome to episode 51, the Pietro Fittipaldi and Roman Grosjean special. So, let's jump in. Unless you've been living under a rock, you should have seen the big news that last week we became award winners. So we were nominated, weren't we, for the...
We were shortlisted.
Well, shortlisted. I keep saying nominated. Shortlisted for the Diversity and Inclusion Award, weren't we, at the LexisNexis Legal Awards?
Yep.
One
of the biggest, most prestigious award ceremonies in the UK, in the legal industry, I would say.
Absolutely, I would agree. And it was a star-studded evening, wasn't it? You know, as in, like, you know, heavyweights from the legal profession were there.
Yep.
Even our category, I think there must have been 8 or 9 shortlisted in our category.
It was a long shortlist, yeah, it really was. And who was the chap there from the Post Office Inquiry? He was probably the biggest celebrity, I think.
Yeah, I think so. He wasn't in our category. He was up for legal personality of the year, and that was Jason Beer, KC.
Yep.
So, you know, it just tells you the calibre of people that were there, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you've watched any of the Post Office Inquiry on the TV, he's the guy you'll see cross-examining everyone, and perfect advocacy in action.
Oh, absolutely. He's a brilliant advocate.
Yeah.
And he did a stellar job in that cross-examination, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we had a great time. So we drove all the way down to London. We wined and dined with some of the legal greats. And to our shock and surprise, we emerged victorious with our award.
We certainly did. I mean, we genuinely didn't expect it, did we, Hayley?
No, absolutely not. I mean, as soon as we got the shortlist through, and I looked at the other nominees, the other shortlistees.
Let's say shortlistees, yeah.
I thought, what an honour, but there's no way we'll win this category. I think it's too competitive. And then when we got there as well, we were on table 41, weren't we? Of 41 tables. So literally the door was right behind us. So I was like, oh, okay. Because usually I've been to a few award ceremonies over the years, and usually people say, you know, if you're not in a great location, it's because you haven't won anything. So I was like, okay, great. We definitely haven't won then. So enjoying the free table wine, as you do.
Yeah. Enjoying
the categories, and then they started reading out like a little blurb about the winner, didn't they, John, for the Diversity and Inclusion Award? And Joe, we were looking at each other like, that does sound like John, but I still didn't think they were going to say your name.
No, I didn't. I was thinking, I had exactly the same thought. I thought, that sounds like me, but it can't be. There's no way.
And it's so funny because I was recording throughout the night, wasn't I? Because we're going to do a vlog of come to the LexisNexis Awards with us. So just before they call it out, we're like taking the mick out of each other going, oh, we've won this. It's in the bag, this.
Yeah.
Because we were like, there's no way.
Yeah, we genuinely didn't think we'd won. We just thought, it's already won, isn't it? You know, of course.
Because we are a pair of goofballs. And then they jumped to John Dove. Amazing.
I lost it, didn't I? Because
you've never, I mean, have you ever been shortlisted for an award? No. I mean, I've nominated you for you this year, and this is the first one that's like gave you any like recognition, and you deserve this recognition. You know, we do work so hard, and don't forget, you are also, as evidenced by this podcast, you know, you're always also still in practice.
Yeah,
and we still do all this stuff.
yeah,
And you know, bringing the Northern Pupillage Fair into existence last year
yeah.
was just like the pinnacle of everything that we do.
I mean, you think about that. I mean, not to toot our own horn, but you think about it. I'm in full-time practice, and I'm doing this alongside yourself, and to do that, and then make a Northern Pupillage Fair and have it as big and as successful as it was, you know, it's no mean feat, is it?
No, it certainly isn't. So maybe we shouldn't have been surprised to win, but you know, we're very humble, and also just because we don't get the recognition that, I mean, everyone we work with and everyone that works with us have nothing but great things to say about the business, but in the wider industry, we're still, or we don't think we're being recognised for everything we do yet. But maybe
we are, and we just don't realise it. I mean,
we're just in our own little bubble. We don't realise the wider impact that we have. So yeah, we were very, very surprised, and John was very, very happy.
Very happy. So when it came out, I mean, I don't know, is it goosebumps? I don't know how to describe. I've never had this feeling before. It's weird to describe the feeling that went through my body, and it almost was like an out-of-body experience. I just didn't expect it. I was like, I can't remember what I said to the camera initially, and then, you know, because you were filming my reaction, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then the Sebastian Vettel finger came out, and I said something that involved an expletive to the camera, you know, just because of how happy I was.
Yeah, you were so excited.
Yeah, and I walked up and but I was celebrating on my way to the stage, hands in the air.
You should be. Everyone was celebrating with you. It was
of course.
Amazing.
And
sorry, go on, John.
Yeah, no, I was going to say. So I got on stage and the Vettel. So I got to shake hands with the lady that presented the award. Shook hands with Tony Robinson of Blackadder and Time Team fame, as he was the MC for the evening, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. And I got to stand next to both of them for some photos. So there's me holding the trophy in one hand, the Vettel finger in the other.
Let's not forget the George Russell pose as well that we've seen.
So maybe we throw this in as a bit of background.
I'll do a side by side.
Yeah, we need a side by side of me with George Russell, don't we? Because
absolutely.
I don't know. I didn't even remember doing that.
But I think because everyone was just clapping and cheering, so you just kind of did this like, oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like this kind of thing, you know, appreciating the praise. And,
but it looks like George Russell's legendary pose. You can't see me, but
you can't see the hand. Yeah, it's like a pose, isn't it?
I'll put up a side by side here for people that are watching this on video, so that you can see it. And if you are just listening to this when you get a chance, just Google George Russell pose.
Yeah,
and you'll know exactly what
we're talking about.
But it was a brilliant night, wasn't it?
Oh, it was such a good night. It was such a good night. Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yep. And then we went all the way home the next day. Sorry?
Spoke to so many nice people there on the day.
We did. We made a good few connections, didn't we? So there was a lot of university categories or universities in categories as well, wasn't there? So we got a few contacts with universities that we haven't had contacts with before, which is, you know, really great.
Yeah.
Which means we can get to even more people.
Indeed.
Up and down the country.
Yeah.
Spoke to a lot of lawyers, as you can imagine, barristers, solicitors.
We were sat next to two people from LexisNexis as well, weren't we?
We were, and it was quite funny because it wasn't a cheap event.
No.
We'll just say that much. But, you know, it was in the Park Plaza Riverbank, bank smack in the middle of London. The food was amazing. There was wine on the table. Yeah. So, you know, you could see where most of your money had gone, but still, for a very small organisation that's just John and I, we did cringe when we saw the price.
Yeah, it was an expensive day, wasn't it?
It was a very, very expensive day. So I don't know how we got talking about the price. Maybe they brought it up themselves, and then I was like, oh gosh, yeah, it's so extortionate. Woo! Can't believe we had to pay that much. And then got on to introductions, because I just jumped into a conversation that John was already having with the two of them. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm from Speed Mooting. Where are you guys from? They're like, LexisNexis. And I was like,
Did it a bit there.
Sorry about the promoting about the price of these tickets. And they said, it's okay, we don't set the price. But yeah, so
Yeah.
it was a
Do
good
you know what? No,
impression.
fair play to LexisNexis. They put a good night on, so.
They did. It was brilliant. And if we're ever honoured to be shortlisted again, then I'd love to go
Oh,
there again.
absolutely, yeah. Go again in a heartbeat.
Yes. I'd give myself a bit more time.
Yeah.
Maybe go the night before, I think.
Yeah, we cut it fine, didn't
We
we?
cut it fine. We left with so much time, as we always do. And we didn't even do that many stops, did we? But
No, we only stopped 2 or 3 times. It was just
once you
get
get into
fixed.
London,
Yeah.
it was, I can't even remember. We did film this, it'll be on the vlog as well. But was it something like 50 minutes for 12 miles or something?
It's less than that. I think it's about 45 minutes for 8 miles. And so you work, I can't remember, but for most of it, you're doing about 7.5 miles an hour on
Yeah.
average. And then the final little leg through, sort of Westminster, you're averaging 4 miles an hour.
Yeah. So it just takes so long. And then we didn't realise that there's two Park Plaza hotels.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, we've played a blinder here because we found a really good car park 2 minutes away from the hotel. And we ran and we were like, oh, we're going to have loads of time to get ready. And she's like, no, you're at the wrong hotel. You want the Park Plaza Riverbank, which is about 15, 20 minutes that way. So we had to like run through London. It started raining. I'd had my hair done. So it was like John had like every single bag and I had my coat over my head running through London. So by the time we did that, checked in, got up to the room, we had about 40 minutes to get ready maybe.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
managed.
Oh, yeah, we got through, didn't we?
We got through. Having the hair done in advance was a big help.
Yeah.
But yeah, we managed to get down to the drinks reception with a few glasses of fizz and then a delicious meal and fun and hijinks.
Yeah. So thank you, LexisNexis, and thank you to, whoever has voted for me for the award. So really appreciate it. And, I have to say, I am truly honoured to have won that award. We put so much hard work in, made a lot of sacrifice for speed moving, and looking at the comments online, it looks like there is so many people that have benefited from what I and Hayley do. So, I'm proud of my achievements. I'm proud that I'm opening doors for other people.
Yeah.
And, just truly thank you.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Shall I get the trophy?
Trophy, yeah, get the trophy.
Here it is, ladies and gents.
Look at the size of that. Yeah, so let me just read it out to them. So it's Diversity and Inclusion Award, John Dove, Speed Mooting, and Charterhouse Chambers. It's a heavy award, isn't it, Hayley?
Oh, it's so heavy. I mean, John does, we said this before, but John does his kart racing. We do a lot with Liverpool Speakers Club. So you've had success in other areas of your life. So this isn't the first trophy that you've got. This is definitely the most expensive trophy that you've ever gotten, I think. So cool. I didn't even realise it's got red on the back.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I suppose that's where that comes from.
Yeah, must be, mustn't it?
But yeah,
It's a lovely trophy, that.
We are very, very proud.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just, we've spoken about this so much, haven't we? Your long journey, my long journey in.
Yeah.
And, just how long it's taken for me to get to where I want to be professionally. And so, naturally, you go through a lot of rejection over the years, more often than not. And then that's why it's, to actually achieve some success, to get, to get a successful outcome like that, I think that's why I was just so happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the award means so much to me.
Should we give some, because you might have to go to court, back to court
Yeah,
any
probably
minute,
not much longer left. So
we'll give the guys some legal content, legal advice before we sign off.
Let's do a quick bit of legal content. So, question that we've had is, the law can be sort of overwhelming, a bit stressful at times. How do you cope with that? Okay. So, any ideas to start us on this one, Hayley?
How to cope with what stress and pressures?
The stress and the pressure of legal practice.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of a few things. So finding out what works for you firstly, because everyone has different points where it's too much. So what's when you might hit the threshold of right, this is the limits of where I can do. Other people might have reached that 3 months ago, other people might be nowhere near. So you need to recognise when, you know, you are feeling the pressure and when you are feeling the stress. And I say this from experience because I was in private practice in commercial law firms before I joined Speed Mooting full time, a litigator, commercial litigation. And that is a very, very stressful area of law to practice in. I mean, I loved it so much, but it's, you know, you're battling every single day. Every case is a fight pretty much. And also the pressures that come with working in large scale commercial law firms as well. Oh no joke. I mean, it was in the news a lot, wasn't it, recently, all of this. It's kind of, the commentary around it's kind of gone quiet again, which is a shame. It comes and goes, doesn't it, when something happens, everyone, we need to make this better, and then it fizzles away, which is a shame because I think real change is needed, particularly in the, you know, the billable hours model and stuff. But we won't go into.
We're not going down that rabbit hole. No.
We're not going down that rabbit hole today. So I think it's recognising when you are getting stressed, when you are feeling the pressure, and also recognising what's causing it. So is it because, is your caseload too high, or are there too many conflicting deadlines? Can you struggling to manage your time? But is there a particular client putting you under a lot of stress or a lot of pressure? So recognising what's causing it firstly, and then knowing what support you have in place to deal with it. So whether that's, you know, a manager, whether that's someone in your peers, whether that's just, you know, friends and family at home, talking to people about the stress and the pressure. You know, the problem shared is a problem halved. And that's true, you know, to a big extent. Talking about things does help. So yeah, in a work environment, you know, talking to someone, I mean, the obvious person to talk to would be a manager, a partner, you know, someone that can help you manage your workload. But it could just be, you know, one particular project is proven to be really difficult, and in that respect sometimes just talking to team members can help, because a colleague, a paralegal, someone more senior, less senior might say, oh, you know what, I'm actually a bit quiet this week, I can jump on and help you with this today. And then you get it finished and you meet the deadline and you're like, oh, thank goodness they helped me and we got through it. So recognising your pressure points, recognising what's causing you stress, and talking to people about it to find out how you can manage it. And then, have you got anything to add to that one?
No, I mean, all I can really say is, you know, when I was in private practice, the firm I worked for were really good. You know, so the way they operated, it meant that everyone was dealing with sort of a controllable or manageable caseload. Then when I was, you know, at the CPS, they were very, or I don't know if it as a general rule, but certainly the managers I worked for were very keen. And it might, you know, this might be the way across the whole organisation, but they were very keen on, you know, making sure that everything we're doing was manageable. You know, as you were getting new cases, if you were getting too many, you know, have a word with them. If you got too many tasks that are overdue, have a word, and let's see how we can sort of move your task list about, etc. So, you know, if there's too much of it overwhelming, speak to them, and they were very good at working with you on that. So as you say, that's the key thing. So you know, speak with your managers, speak with your supervisors, and, you know, see what they can do to assist you. And, you know, I imagine most firms will work with you, and, you know, you need to be in an organisation where you feel comfortable, you feel like they're actually, you know, looking after your welfare effectively. And if you don't feel like you're getting that support, then that might be the time to have a think and, you know, maybe look to see if there are other organisations where you know you're going to fit in better, you're going to be well looked after. But, you know, certainly in the first instance, speak to someone there.
And that's not always, you know, a bad reflection of the place where you work. It's just, as we say, sometimes you're in an environment that just doesn't work for you. So as I say, I've been in a few firms over the years. I'm obviously not going to name any of them or like identify them in any way, but I've also worked with a few people in these places over the years. So I've had a couple of friends, family members that have worked with me. I think you're the same, John. You've been in these industries for a long time. You cross paths and you get people jobs, etc., stuff like that. And one of the roles I was in, it was very fast paced, and I loved it. I thrived on it. I used to love having all my tasks on the list, and it's almost like addictive. I just want to do one more. I'm just going to do one more. I'll just do one more phone call. I'll get this done. And then someone that worked in that role with me, it was horrendous for them. You know, they just didn't like to work that way. The stress and the pressure, they didn't enjoy it at all. So they moved on to another place where they were so much happier. I stayed with that place because I really enjoyed working that way. So it's, you
Absolutely.
know, if you're in a place and it's causing you tremendous stress and pressure, and you've utilised, you know, all of the support, management have tried to help you change things about, and it still just doesn't work for you, then there's no shame in, you know, in trying something else. And it's not necessarily a bad reflection of the workplace or of you.
No, it's not. It's horses for courses, isn't it, Hayley? You know, different firms have different cultures,
Yeah,
and you know that's the way it should be.
yeah,
No two organisations are going to be identical, and it's about finding a place where you feel comfortable.
yeah,
So there has to be that click there.
yeah. And the other thing I would say that really helps balance I mean, this industry, we all know it, it's so high pressured. It brings it brings with it an awful lot of stress just from the nature of the industry. I think it's similar. Who is it? Like doctors and dentists and
Yeah,
lawyers are all like the most stressed out professionals out there.
air
And
traffic controllers as well.
who?
Air traffic controllers.
Yeah, well, exactly. And you don't go into it thinking, I'm going to be a litigator, and it's going to be like flowers and daisies every day. Of course, it's not. That's not the nature of the job that you've signed up for. But a big important part, I think, to manage the stress is, external factors. Have something like a hobby,
Yeah.
strong family and friends, just something around you so you can switch off from work and, have those boundaries to be able to switch off from work. I mean, you've got your karting, haven't you, John?
Yeah.
I've got a million nieces and nephews, so I can just go home and immerse myself in the craziness of family for a day or so if I need to switch off. And everyone's got different things that they like to do, but just make sure you keep time aside to do it. I mean, there's periods, isn't there, we've talked about this, when you might find that it's been a week, 2 weeks longer. We had an absolutely insane February, didn't we? We didn't. I mean, that we're great advocates for work-life balance in February. We didn't do anything much, did we?
No.
On that, but it's peaks and troughs. It's
the way it
like
goes,
that
isn't it?
sometimes, and we were in control of what we were doing. John said yes to a trial. We knew it was going to be crazy, and we had so much on with speed mooting, but we knew that, and we chose to do that. But now we've got a lot of holidays coming up and a lot of fun things coming up, so it's all about balance, and that's the balance that works for us.
Yeah.
So you need to find your own balance and find out what works for you.
Certainly. Yeah. Great advice there, Hayley. Well, I think we're coming towards the end. Probably need to wrap this up.
Yeah, we need to get back to court.
Back to court. So I've enjoyed recording this episode. Have you enjoyed recording it, Hayley?
I've enjoyed recording it, John.
Perfect. For those listening, we have, this week we will have already had it. We had our public speaking session at the Advocacy Club. Next week we've got a speed mooting session. So if you're either taking part in the competition or you're just looking for a chance to practice your advocacy in a low pressure environment, I highly advise you to take a look at the Advocacy Club, speedmooting.com/advocacy-club.
Boom.
Right. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, and if you're enjoying this podcast and the content that John and I bring you, then if you could take a moment and just subscribe to our channel, it helps us a lot when we know you're all listening and supporting us.
Yeah, we would be very grateful. And lastly, we just need you to drop a comment down below, and I think this week's comment has to be, as Charlie Sheen would say, winning.
Winning, absolutely.
Winning.
Or a trophy emoji.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.